People ask, where do you get your ideas? Well, right here. All this is mine. I'll never starve here. I'm Ray Bradbury. And this is
tennis shoes to remind me of what? The first nights of summer when as a boy I ran in the cool grass, or later walking at night, being stopped by police who were suspicious of the only one walking for miles and miles. Upset with this encounter with the law, what else could I do but write about shoes and night and walking as a criminal in some future year in a story called The Pedestrian?
Hello, fellow teachers. My name is Alana Bled, and I'm going to take you on an adventure into the future through an amazing grade 11 college prep media studies unit about technology and the effects it has on society. We're going to explore how students feel about technology and how they feel it can impact our future while closely analyzing several different types of media. For this assignment, I have chosen the media text, The Pedestrian by Ray Bradbury. The Pedestrian is a short story that is set in the future in the year 2053 to be exact. It is based on a man named Leonard Mead who loves to go for long walks every evening by himself. He's the only pedestrian near his home, therefore he never happens to bump into anyone on his evening strolls. On one of his evening walks, he is stopped by the police who orders him to put his hands in the air. After being asked several questions by the officer, the police is unsatisfied with his responses. The officer then puts him into the back of a police cruiser. Once inside, Mr. Mead notices that there is no driver in the car. It's automated. The car then informs him that he is being taken to the psychiatric center because of his regressive tendencies. Mr. Mead's behavior, such as his walks, are atypical of the society he lives in. Therefore, he is being punished for his actions. As you can see from this clip from Bradbury's theater, the police officer that Mr. Mead deals with isn't the typical police officer that we would deal with in today's society. This is one of the examples of the advancements of technology that we will be discussing throughout this unit.
That's Sky Patrol Unit 1, 2 Prowlers, Elm Terrace, Block D. Prowlers, suspects.
Why have I selected this particular text, you ask? It's simple. I've selected this particular text because I find that students will be able to relate to it. Technology is huge in the 21st century, from Facebook to Instagram, from Siri to self-driven cars. The media text viewed by the students throughout this unit will give them a bird's eye view of the fears and the excitements that people had in the 50s about the advancements of technology, and possibly relate them to today's fears or excitements. On top of students being able to relate to the idea of technology and its advancements, I also find that our students might be able to connect a little bit more with this because of the very popular reality television series Big Brother and Big Brother Canada. Before we get into all the juicy details, let's go over the learning outcomes and curriculum expectations. First, we will discuss the learning outcomes. First, students will analyze increasingly complex or difficult media texts to identify and interpret overt and implied messages in them. Students will evaluate how effectively increasingly complex or difficult media texts communicate information, ideas, and opinions, and/or present issues and themes. Students will analyze increasingly complex or difficult media texts to identify the perspectives and/or biases expressed in them and comment on what they suggest about their values, identity, and/or power. When it comes to the curriculum expectations, this unit happens to meet most, if not all, specific expectations under number 1, Understanding Media Text. Demonstrate an understanding of a variety of media texts. How will I use this text in my classroom, you ask? Well, here's 5 ways how I would use this text as a sci-fi unit. Number 1, I would start with a formative assessment that would consist of an opinion paragraph asking students their ideas about technology and how they believe it influences their life. Number 2, well, we would read the short story as a whole class. Number 3, we would then have to watch The Pedestrian on the Ray Bradbury Theatre. Number 4, we would talk about other novels, short stories, movies, television shows, etc. that explore the idea of someone always watching you, like 1984 by George Orwell, or Big Brother, like I previously stated. Finally, we would watch Archangel from the Black Mirror series on Netflix. After completing all necessary assignments and discussions with the class, I would then present them with an assignment. For this assignment, they would have to write an opinion journal where students explore the idea of technological advances and whether or not they see them as a good or bad thing for society. They must make references to at least one of the media examples and one of the print examples. When it comes to my teaching strategies and how I feel that I would best and most effectively teach this short story to a class, I can't help but think of Module 1 and the approaches to the novel. Most of this short story would be taught in the whole class study approach. From reading the short story to viewing videos to even having class discussions, most of this would be done as a whole. I would also try my best to incorporate as much cooperative learning and inquiry into this unit as possible. And last but not least, utilizing technology. I would use everything I possibly could in order to make this unit and this learning process most effective. Throughout this unit, I have 2 key teaching points that I wish to be addressed. 1, how technology is influencing, and 2, is it a positive or a negative thing for us to continually advance technology? As we can see, this short story would be a great way to start a science fiction unit on technology in a grade 11 college preparation course. Although it may take a total of 3 to 5 school days depending on regular schedules and student progression, I feel like it would be something that students would absolutely love. And if you're wondering what I would do for a summative activity, I would make the students complete a film review using Ray Bradbury's short stories as evidence. Some films that I might make them watch include War of the Worlds or The Island. Before completing this assignment, I never read The Pedestrian by Ray Bradbury before. I highly recommend it. It's creepy and cool, all mixed together. Well, folks, this is the end. I hope you enjoyed my movie. I'd never made one before for an assignment, and I'm telling you I'm stressed as you can all believe. This video has taken me about 5 hours to make, so I am totally ready for bed, and I hope that all of your videos are published soon so I can have the joys of watching them. Thank you, and I will talk to you all soon.